In my roles as a parent, a fourth-generation preacher's kid, an early childhood professional, a college professor, and a consultant, I believe and truly hope that if anyone ever asks you, what does Elsa Jones most strongly believe for every child? I hope that the resounding response would be, children's parents and their families are their first and most important nurturers, teachers, and advocates for life. When I reflect on the teachers and mentors who have guided my life, I go first to my parents, and I immediately hear Luke chapter 12, verse 48, to whom much is given, much is required. I think further about specific life messages that they gave me across the years. When a teenager, my mother, Natalie Barclay Brown Jones, a preacher's wife, an artist, and an art curator, told me one evening, some roads you don't need to travel. Some roads you need not travel. I've already gone down them for you. I recall when in college, my father, Reverend Dr. William Augustus Jones, a third-generation Baptist preacher, civil rights leader, and author, would always say to me with every call, look up, be your best. As a parent, these are messages that I have passed on to my own children. Now, there's one more message I want to share, and this came from my college professor, Marcia Darling, in 1981 during my senior year at Wellesley College. On a Friday afternoon, as my Black Women's History class was coming to a close, Professor Darling delivered a riveting, provocative question with her fist raised in the air and then forcefully slammed on the desk. She asked, why would you ever want to live in a melting pot? I'll see you next week. I recall a brief conversation with classmates as we quickly exited the class. As I walked to my dorm, I remembered the 1977 Schoolhouse Rock song, America, the Great Melting Pot. And this was 1981. I then called my father and shared this provocative question with him. We did some research together and thus began my understanding to this very day. In the melting pot, you are stirred up into assimilation. You are robbed of your individual uniqueness and your rich heritage. The next week, I arrived well prepared and explained with my classmates or to my classmates, never would I want to live in a melting pot. I do not accept that theory. All three teachers and mentors set me on my path for my life's passion, purpose, and work. These are paths that were already traveled by my mother and my ancestors. My father's voice is still, look up to God and be my best. And the gifts and strengths of diversity thrive for all of us within the mosaic, the quilt, the salad bowl, the stew, the symphony, and the bouquet. But again, not for me, never a melting pot.